What's going on, guys? I'm going to be talking about the new rating system in NBA 2K16. 2K released it pretty recently, a few days ago, but I've been looking around and looking at people talking about it on YouTube and other social media websites and seeing people's opinions, and I already had an opinion kind of formulated about it. I just want to talk about the new rating system. First off, the new rating system seems to be based on all-time players are accounted into the ratings instead of this year where it seems like it's based on current-day NBA players and their stats and how historic players would play probably in modern-day NBA. They are adding a lot more historic teams, so I think that's why they're doing this. And the way that they made it seem, because LeBron this year is a 94 overall compared to every other year he starts off at usually a 98, 99. Maybe, I think in 2K11 he was like a 97. But for the most part, he's always the highest rated guy, or one of them, very high rated. However, this year they're changing it up and they're trying to compare every player to all-time historics and all-time leaders, or something like that. For the most, if you just want a quick synopsis, they don't want to make it what it's been. They want to compare everyone equally. I do think this is a good idea, but the way that they execute it seems pretty bad, because I know LeBron's very good, but he's not one overall point different than Jordan. I feel Jordan should be at least 2 or 3, so LeBron should be like a 96, 97, or like maybe 95. Which is close to 94, but I just feel like 94 isn't accurate. However, they have released more guys' ratings, and it just seems like it's not accurate to the current day NBA, since most of the time you're going to be playing with current teams. For instance, Kevin Durant's a 91, which is still a very good rating, but that dropped him from where he started at last year, which he was in 95, I believe. So they're basically saying Kevin Durant is 4 points less, just like LeBron. I just don't get it too much. It doesn't seem that accurate to have a 91 overall of Kevin Durant in his prime. I know he was hurt last year, but still, he performed when he was out there. Another guy they announced was Spencer Dinwiddie. No one is really fretting over. He's a 70. He hasn't proved enough to compare his ratings. Andre Drummond is an 83, which is the same rating as last year, and I do think he should be higher because he does have really good rebounding stats and defense, and he does struggle at the offensive end, but he's a lot better than 83. Isaiah Thomas is an 81. He dropped from last year. I believe he was an 84 at one point. Hassan Whiteside is the same rating of an 81. And then Rudy Gobert is a 79, who somehow dropped, even though he's probably the most valuable player on the Jazz, or one of the top 2. As when they traded away Enes Kanter, he became the starting center, and they became much better. And he's only proven that he's a better player. And then Jared Sullinger is the 77, which I really don't get. I've watched him play. He's a very skilled offensive rebounder and scorer. I think he should be a lot higher than that, probably like an 80. And they also have the screenshots, and just my opinion on Jared Sullinger's, they made him look way too fat. Like, I know he's big and pudgy, but they just made him look like a fat guy just put on a shooting sleeve and went out to play. So for the most part, I don't like these ratings. Here's a little snippet or little dialogue that Operation Sports put in about the ratings. I'll put a link to it. And this is how they talk about the ratings. When debating who is the best offensive rebounder of all time, most would agree that Dennis Rodman sets the bar. Since Rodman is the best offensive rebounder of all time, he is a 99 for our offensive rebounding rating. We then set the rest of our scale using Rodman's advanced stats as the pinnacle for that attribute. If we take a look at the regular NBA, one of the best rebounders is DeAndre Jordan, who has an offensive rebounding rating of 92. So, first off, I don't like it because it's opinion-based, where they just said most would agree that Dennis Rodman is the best offensive rebounder of all time. However, we don't know that since the NBA didn't keep track of offensive rebounds before 1974. So you don't know the guys who are in the 50s or 60s or before 74, how good they were offensive rebounding, just total rebounds. And I don't think Rodman is one of the best, but there's still guys who are very, very good. And DeAndre Jordan doesn't deserve a 92. He does deserve higher, since that's most of his game is offensive rebounding, and he does it very well. And thinking of this, I just don't like it too much, where they're going to set the bar where it's going to be one guy who has a 99, or maybe 2 guys, and then below that is everyone else. And another reason why I don't like this is they're missing out on some people in the game who are the best at all time at certain stats, such as Kareem, who they haven't put in the game since 2K12. I know he doesn't have a stat like most 3-pointers made or something like that, but he is the all-time points leader, and they don't have him in the game, which is kind of stupid, even though he's probably a top 5 player of all time. So I don't like this new rating system for the most part. The parts I do like is how they're kind of getting rid of the idea of a 1 overall point difference between historics and modern day does not exist anymore, or historic to historic. I'm down. It sounds very confusing what I'm saying, but what I'm trying to say is, for instance, I think Jerry West is a 92 in this game, or one of his players are, and then Tim Hardaway's a 90, I believe. And there's no way Jerry West is only 2 points higher than Tim Hardaway. They played very similar positions. Jerry West was usually like a shooting guard, but he was also kind of a point guard. But for the most part, he is a lot better than 2 points better. Jerry West is the logo of the NBA, and Tim Hardaway just had a very good. He's a great player, but he's nowhere near Jerry West's level. So that's why I don't like the ratings for the most part. I mean, it could get better, but I just don't like how they're setting just a single baseline and thinking, oh, that's the pinnacle, and then everything else falls below it. I think that it's a decent way to start, but the execution that they used was just absolutely horrendous, because there's guys out there who deserve much higher ratings, but they're not getting it just because of the new method, especially Kevin Durant, who I do like, and there's no way he should be a 91 overall. So I'm kind of frustrated with it, and whatever. This happens. I hope that they update the ratings frequently like they tried to do this year, as some of the guys will progress much faster or progress better and will become better players overall, and hopefully they'll fix this kind of ratings thing that people are seeming to have issues about on Twitter, tweeting at Ronnie, making videos about, just like me. But the video is winding down, so comment down below your opinion about the new rating system, and tell me if I'm stupid or not. So guys, please give me a like if you've been here this long. Share this video with anyone who likes 2K, and have a good day. Peace.